Well, welcome to this short little presentation on the secrets that no one talks about. What I want to talk about for the next 15 minutes probably is the true secret to internet marketing. I've been doing this for about 10 years now. In the beginning, I marketed my own products, my own courses, and recently I learned about affiliate marketing and started doing affiliate marketing. And frankly, up until I discovered these secrets, I made money, but I didn't make enough money that it really changed my lifestyle. And so I've given this a lot of thought. And in all the training that I've taken, and I have taken a lot, nobody ever told me the real secret. And I want to share this secret with you because once you understand the numbers, you'll understand exactly what it takes to make money in internet marketing. It's not hard, but it takes time. So let's start off by looking at some statistics. Nationally, that is in the United States, email open rates vary from 15% to 21%. That means if you send out 100 emails, between 15 and 21 of the subscribers on the email list will actually open the email. And if you have a link in the email to a product you're selling, for example, the typical click-through rate to the sales page or bridge page is between 3 and 7%. And it gets even worse. Sales conversion rates are between 0.1% to 1.5%, which means that out of every 100 people you have opening your email, only about 1.5 people might even think about buying your product. Anywhere from less than one person to 1.5 people will consider buying your product and actually make a purchase. So the conversion rate is very low, and that is just a hard truth, and it hasn't changed in years. The next thing I want to talk about is average cart value. So let's suppose that you're promoting a product that has a basic entry-level service, let's say, for $50. And it takes you 20 clicks to make your first sale of $50. And then when people proceed through the funnel, they get their first upsell. And that upsell is $500, of which you get half. So after 200 clicks, you make $500 on the $50 sales that you're making, and maybe you get one upsell and you make a commission of $250. And let's say there's one more upsell that the vendor is providing. So in this case, you have made $1,950 on the $50 item. You've made 3 sales on where you've earned a commission of $750. And let's say the last upsell is $600, or let's even make it $900, and you get a 30% commission. So you made $300 on that one commission. And this is the way funnels typically work. So basically, 1,000 clicks results in $3,000 in commissions coming to you, and we'll call that the $3,000 the average cart value. So this is where the profit lies. My friend and colleague and mentor, Igor Kafetz, who's a very famous email marketer out of Toronto, says that your open rates will vary between 3 and 20% on each email newsletter that you send out. Click-through rate is going to be between 1.5 to 15%, depending upon how good your email is and how closely targeted the product or offer you have is matched to the people that are on your list. Igor says that a healthy list typically gives him a 10% open rate with a 10% click-through rate. So what does this mean realistically? Let's suppose that you've got a sales conversion rate of 1.5%. And let's assume an earnings per click of $3 per every 1,000 clicks. Earnings per click is simply the amount of money you make divided by the number of clicks. So in this case, with an EPC of $3, to earn $3,000, you're going to need 1,000 clicks. Well, what's that going to take? Let's suppose that you do a 3 email sequence. That means you're going to have to send out 333 clicks per email. And if your conversion rate is 1.5%, which is on the high side, you are going to need 22,200 email subscribers. And to make $3,000, you're going to have to send 3 emails to a list of 22,200 people. That's a lot of emails and a big list, but that's the number. So if you assume a 3% conversion rate, which is high, then you're only going to need an 11,100 subscriber list. And if you want to go really crazy and you've got a 9% conversion, and you have a super highly targeted list of avid buyers, then you only need 3,700 people on your list. This is why Igor says that he can make a lot of money on a 4,000 or 5,000 subscriber list. It's because that list is highly targeted, passionate buyers of the stuff that he sells. So let's look at how this played out in real life this year in 2020. This is a screenshot of one of my ClickBank accounts. I started developing a new niche. I won't tell you what the niche is, but I just started it out. And so you'll see that in mid-February of 2020, I reached 1,000 subscribers, and I was doing a very targeted Facebook advertising. At the end of the month, I had 1,500 subscribers. Then the COVID shutdown happened, and you'll notice the trend line. I started with no sales, and then it started climbing, and I got hops in sales, and then things started to go up and down, and then you can see there's been a downward trend since the COVID shutdown. But I'm still building emails, and here we are in the beginning of April of 2000, and I built my list to 2,000 emails for this particular niche and target. So the total revenue for this period was $661.43, and my total ad cost on Facebook was $960.43. That's a $301 loss if you want to look at it that way, but look at it this way. My net cost per lead was $301 divided by 2,000, or about 15 cents per lead. And this is what is known as a self-liquidating list. Ideally and eventually, my net cost per lead is going to be zero. In other words, I will be making enough money off the list to pay for my ad cost, and eventually it will go positive so that I will start having what's known as a positive EPC. But I'm still a long ways away from that, and let me show you in a minute why that is the way that it is. So why do ads to offers don't pay? Why does ad to offer doesn't pay? So ad to offer means that you have an ad campaign of some kind, and you send the person who clicks on the link to a bridge page, and then from there on to an affiliate offer. I did this, and I took some great training. There's nothing wrong with the training. In fact, I would recommend the training. But I learned that this didn't work, and the reason is this: assume a 1.5% conversion rate. Assume that your ad cost is $1 per click. Now that's really cheap on Facebook, at least in North America. If you do 1,000 clicks with a 1.5% conversion rate, you're going to get 1.5 sales out of every 1,000 clicks that you get. And let's assume that you're selling a training for $1,000, which is what a lot of the trainings go for, and you get a 50% commission. You're going to earn about $500 per sale. And under these assumptions, you're going to spend $1,000 in ad costs to generate $750 in sales. You basically lose $250. The only way you can make money under this model is to have highly targeted advertising so that your ad cost per click is below $1,000. In fact, it has to be below 75 cents per click is your break-even point. It's your return on ad spend is your break-even point is 75 cents per click, and that is extremely difficult to achieve. So what does this tell us? It says the only way to really make money on the internet, whether you're doing e-commerce, selling your own stuff, or doing affiliate marketing, is that you need to grow a large email list. That list must be targeted to what you are selling. So if you're selling business opportunities like internet marketing, then your list has to be targeted to people who are interested in that. If you're doing dating and relationships, then your list has to be targeted to either men or women who are interested in dating and relationships and becoming better sex partners and all that stuff. The third important conclusion is that any list under 10,000 is not going to be profitable. So that means you need to keep your cost per lead as low as possible to get to that 10,000, and you need to manage your list aggressively. This means that you need to be sending out at least one email every day to people on your list. And the statistics show that you will not get people pissed off at you and unsubscribing from your list if you email them every day. They'll only get mad at you if you email them once a week. And that's because they get familiar with you as you send them emails. And there's a whole strategy around that. So how long to profits? Well, let's just assume that you spend $300 a month on an ad spend, whether it's Google or Facebook or native ads or some other source. And let's just assume that you can average out a net cost per lead of 50 cents per lead, which is really good. A list of 1,000 will cost you $500, and it'll take you about a little bit less than 2 months to create the list. The list of 1,000 is not going to produce any revenue for you. And assuming that you have a 1.5% click-through rate, only 15 people are going to click on your offer. And if you've got a 1 or 2% conversion rate, you're going to be really lucky if you get one person to buy something. And 1% of 15 is 0.15. It's not going to work. You just don't have the numbers. And even if you send out dozens and dozens of emails to these people, a list of 1,000 is not going to produce the revenue that we're looking for. So let's suppose that you're going to build your list of 5,000. Well, that will cost you $2,500 net over a little over 8 months, and should be generating enough money at that point to cover your ad costs. So you should have a positive earnings per click. But look, it's going to cost you $2,500, and it's going to take you almost three quarters of a year to get there. And that is where we get into trouble. Now, why do people fail in internet marketing? More than 50% of the people that get into internet marketing fail at it. Here's why. Number one, they don't have enough money to invest in building a self-liquidating list. You've got to be able to spend $300 to $500 a month over at least a year, and you've got to spend that money smartly. People are not educated in traffic sources, so they don't understand the ins and outs of using Facebook versus Google ad versus native ads such as Quora or some other places like that, Instagram. They're not educated in how to build opt-in and bridge pages, which requires copywriting skills, which they're not educated in. And they're not educated in email campaign structure and duration. And finally, they're not patient, persistent, or disciplined to do the work. Now, I just want to give a caveat here. You will hear many, many people say you do not have to be tech savvy in order to be successful at internet marketing. They are lying to you. You do have to be tech savvy. You have to understand traffic sources. You have to understand how to build opt-in and bridge pages. You have to understand what the tools that are available to you, whether it be ClickFunnels or Lead Pages or Kartra. You have to learn how to copywrite. It's not that difficult, but you have to learn how to do it. Copywriting is really pretty simple if you're a literate person. You just have to learn the formulas. And you have to learn all about email marketing. How to write emails, how to set up campaign structures, when to use an autoresponder, when not to use an autoresponder, how long should an email campaign be, and so forth. And finally, you have to recognize that under no circumstances is this get rich quick. It's going to take at least a year to 18 months and maybe even longer before you're going to start seeing any kind of decent revenues off an internet business. I don't know anybody who is a so-called internet guru who made money in the first 6 months. Most of the stories that you hear of people are that it took them years. For Igor Kafetz, for example, it took him 4 years. For John Crestani, it took him 2 to 3 years. And all these other guys that are now making millions of dollars online did not do it in 6 months or even a year. For many of them, it was many years. And that's because it takes a long time to build a list and to learn all the little tricks that you need to know to keep a competitive advantage in this marketplace. So the rule basically is the faster you can grow a list, the faster you can make money. However, if you don't have the money to grow the list, that means it's going to be a grow slow process. Doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means that it's going to take time. And the other big important rule is that you cannot sacrifice quality for quantity. Having a 10,000 subscriber email list is absolutely worthless if those people are not interested somehow in the products or offers that you have to offer to them under which you're going to make money. So if they're just a generic 10,000 people that have not been targeted properly, you can send them emails all day long and they're simply not going to be interested in what you're presenting to them. You have to build lists of targeted people who at least have some interest in the kinds of things that you're going to be offering them over time. So that's it. If you want to learn the basics of internet marketing, sign up for the free 14-day challenge. This is totally free. It takes you 14 days. It's a 14-day course. You spend 10 minutes a day. That's all you need to put in. And by the time you get to the end of the course, you will know whether or not you have the patience, discipline, and persistence to be successful in internet marketing. To get into the course, go to https://challenge-opt-in. And the link is right there. We'll leave the link up for a few minutes. This is absolutely free. And when you go on to this link, you'll learn all that you really need to know about the 14-day challenge. It is the only way to really start to learn internet marketing because it is free and you will learn all the basics that you need to know. It won't make you a master, but it will get you started. If you can get through the 14-day challenge, you have what it takes to become a successful internet marketer and get the financial freedom that you're seeking. So I hope this was useful, and if it was, click on the comments, and hopefully we'll see you in the 14-day challenge. Take care and good luck.